Okay, here we are again and time for another video. Thanks for joining me today, guys. This is Peter, Thailand bound, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. So today I'm going to be talking again about this coronavirus. I did make a couple of videos previously and I just wanted to follow up on them really. This will probably be my final video on the coronavirus, and I'm not going to start reeling off facts and figures and advice because one, I'm not medically trained. Two, I'm just not the right person to do that. And three, there are lots and lots of very, very good videos on YouTube made by doctors and medical people, and they give facts, really good facts. And if somebody was genuinely coming to YouTube to find out about the coronavirus, then they're the sort of videos they should be searching for. So what am I going to talk about today? Well, when I made the first video, it was around, I think it was on the 1st of February, it's the 17th today, so I've dated this video now. And at that time, it was just starting to rear its ugly head. So I think in the UK, we had 2 cases. In Thailand, there were 19 cases. There were no restrictions. There was no talk of grounding flights, all that sort of thing. And the reason I made that first video, because I was getting several messages from people asking me if I would still go to Thailand. And at the time, if you go back and look at that video or you've watched it previously, you'll see that I categorically stated that no problem for me whatsoever. I'm not paranoid about it. There were no restrictions in place. And it was just people generally asking me, would you still go? And as I say, at that time, yes, there's no problem at all. So what's changed? Numbers for a start, which I said I won't talk about. But yeah, I mean, obviously it's a lot more serious. We're 7 weeks into it from when I first made that video, and in the UK presently there's about 1,500 people. I think 55 people have died so far. Would I go to Thailand now if that was the same question? No, I wouldn't. And that's not because I'm scared of catching the virus, because from what I understand watching all these videos from professionals, medical people, doctors and what have you, they all say the same thing, and that is, and this is from them, not from me, if you haven't got any underlying health issues and you're not sort of 70, 80, generally you shouldn't die. That's what they say. Now I'm 60 in the next 2 weeks. I don't have any underlying health issues. I did have diabetes too. I did something about it. I was a little bit overweight. I lost weight, and at last check I'd reversed it. So I'm not worried about that. Immune system, if you've got a good immune system, healthy, then obviously it's not going to be a problem. So why wouldn't I go now? Just so much hassle. I mean, basically the one thing that does scare me is I just don't want to be quarantined anywhere. You know, I don't want to, if they're changing the rules on a daily basis. Boris Johnson here in the UK, he has what they call, there's a committee called Cobra, and they've been set up for any national emergency. And at the moment, obviously, it's the coronavirus. So they have meetings daily and then they update everybody on what's going on. I was actually due to fly out to Thailand around, I think it was the 4th or 5th of next month. So only 2 weeks away. Obviously, I'm disappointed about that, but better safe than sorry. So I'm not going. I haven't bought a ticket. I normally buy last minute. As I travel by myself, it's not normally a problem. No, that's the reason I don't want to go now. It's like I say, it's not because I'm afraid of the virus. What does scare me is the economy. If you look at Heathrow now, it's like a giant car park for aircraft. They've said on the news, you know, in the UK, you know, big companies like Costa Coffee, Starbucks, them kind of level of businesses, they're saying, you know, they've got cash flow for maybe 1 or 2 months. They still have to pay their rents, their rates, their staff. When the money runs out, that's it, basically. So a lot of people are going to suffer. We only have to, all we can do is wait and see. I think anybody who gets on a plane to go to Thailand now, they're taking a big risk that they might get stuck there. As I say, I don't want to offer you any advice. It's up to you what you do. But the question originally back on the 1st of February was, would I still go to Thailand? So just to update that video, as we stand now, I wouldn't go for the reasons I've given you. I'll just explain a little bit about what's going on here in the UK, which is quite frightening, really. There is no shortage of food from manufacturers. So they've said they've got weeks and weeks supply. There's no interruption in the supply chain, but shelves are beginning to go empty in supermarkets. And the reason for that is not because there is a shortage from the manufacturers, the producers of food. People are just being stupid. They're panic buying and they're just overbuying. So obviously you want to make sure you don't run out of things. Myself, I bought an extra packet of loo paper. I bought a tin of powdered milk, so at least I can still have a coffee if milk supplies dry up, that sort of thing. But you know, you've got people going bloody stupid. They're going in there with 2 huge shopping market trolleys, and they're just filling up with as much toilet paper as they can carry, bottled water, all that sort of thing. And I read a story in a newspaper yesterday, online, not the physical newspaper. There was a guy 2 days ago in London. He was actually mugged. Can you believe this? He was mugged for his toilet roll. He came out with 2, and that was a heading, man mugged for toilet roll. He came out with 2 packets of toilet rolls. There was 24 in each pack. And somebody came up to him and took the first one off the top and ran down the road. So, I mean, it's getting ridiculous now. And, you know, people are being very selfish about it. And that's probably what's going to cause more problems than anything else. As I say, there is no problem, as far as I know, from producers or suppliers. They're still able to get the products in the supermarkets. And in fact, the supermarkets themselves have said, you know, please stop panic buying. We've got more than enough. But it's people who are causing that problem. They're talking about putting the army on the streets now to control everybody. They want everybody to self-isolate, work from home. They're talking about pub closures, cinema closures. The schools are still going at the moment. A lot of countries have closed down their schools. I believe Ireland and Scotland have closed their schools. The reason that Boris Johnson has said he won't close the schools at the moment is because you can't really confine young children indoors all the time. They're going to congregate anyway, and it puts a pressure of burden on grandparents to look after them. People will have to take time off work and that sort of thing. So presently the schools are still going, but they're talking about, you know, everything else. You know, no, they don't want any public meetings with more than 500 people. But people are ignoring it. I've seen there was a concert on yesterday or the day before, and it was like nothing was going on. So you got to look at it, you know, take your own view on it. But personally, I think what I'm going to do, I'm not going to self-isolate. I'm not paranoid about it. You know, as I say, if I do get it, then probably the sooner, if I'm going to get it, I'd rather get it sooner than later. And hopefully I'll get through it and, you know, life will go on. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to throw myself into the computer. I'm going to get some jobs done around my apartment and just, you know, go with the flow and see what happens. So that's all I wanted to say, really. I just wanted to round off that video. The only other thing which I found quite amusing, I was watching, you know, obviously people there's lots of videos, there's a lot of people making videos about Thailand, not only me. And some people are based in Pattaya, they live there. They're based in Bangkok, they live there. And I often watch their videos. Some you don't ever see their faces. They're just, you know, they're riding down Sukhumvit on a Soi 4 on a motorbike, and, you know, they're pointing the camera at the bars and things like that. They're okay. And you've got other guys who do videos similar to mine. They talk to the camera, they explain things. But I had to smile the other day. I was watching one, and this was before the coronavirus really took a hold. It wasn't anything to do with the coronavirus. It was, you know, there's a lot of people saying tourism is down in Thailand now. You know, the Thai baht's all over the place, although it has made a little bit of a recovery. It's a little bit better at the moment. Nothing like the old days where we got 80 baht to the pound. I think it's 40 now. But when I was there a while ago, I was only getting 36. So, but this video, I mean, what the subject was, you know, is Thailand losing all its tourists, and people were noticing a lot less tourists. And he was walking around Pattaya, and I had to smile because what he was doing, it was early evening, and he was walking around, you know, Soi 7, Soi 8, Soi 6, all those sort of busy places with all the little bars. And he was just walking up the street, and all the bars were closed or empty. And his commentary, he was saying, look how quiet it is. These bars, normally they have people in them at this time of night, and they're just absolutely dead. This proves tourism's going down the pan in Thailand. You know, look down here, there's even signs saying that there's a bar for sale here, and this Soi here, normally there's lots of people in the bars, it's totally empty. And, you know, that was the kind of flavour of the video. And what he forgot to, well, what he didn't mention on that video anywhere, I watched it all, what he didn't mention is on the day that he took that video, it was actually a Buddhist day. And as you know, guys, on a Buddhist day, it's a national holiday. They closed down all the entertainment venues as a mark of respect, so they would have been closed anyway. And as far as bars for sale, there's always been bars for sale in Pattaya. I mean, even when I first got down there in the early 90s, you'd walk up Soi 8 and there'd be several bars with signs for sale, for lease, call this number. So that's nothing new. So I suppose my point by telling you that really, that all I'm trying to get across to you is, you know, don't watch one video and believe everything you see. I mean, if you see something and you want to know if it's true or not, watch several videos. And that way you'll get a better picture of things. So if you're watching this, I'll tell you what I would like to know. If if there's anybody who lives in Thailand, I mean, what's it like? I've got friends who live in Thailand, and I did contact one of them this morning, actually. I had a chat with him, but unfortunately he's got a company in Bangkok. He lives about 20 kilometers from the center of from Sukhumvit. He lives in a gated community. He lives a Thai lifestyle, but he's got his own factory. And I asked him and I said, what's it like? He said, yeah, the malls are closing down. But he said the markets are pretty much, they look normal. And I asked him about Nana Plaza, Soy Cowboy, that sort of thing. And he doesn't go to them sort of places because he lives there and he's got a family and he doesn't get in. So I'd love to know. I mean, if you live in Bangkok and you're a regular to Nana Plaza and Soy Cowboy, or you just hang around Sukhumvit or Pattaya Walking Street, what's it like? You know, you tell me and I'll tell others. Is it absolutely dead, or is it 50-50? Are the bars as they always were? I'd like to know, actually. So that's it. There's nothing more really to say on this video. It's a short video, and as I said at the beginning, I won't be making another video on the coronavirus. We'll see how it goes. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. They're talking about sort of 3 months to a year now, so not good. Okay guys, thanks for watching this video, and hopefully it's a little bit depressing, this video, I know, a little bit dark. I hope next video I'll try and make something a bit more positive and a bit more along the lines of what I normally make videos about, relationships and that sort of thing. Okay, so thanks for watching this one, and hang on in there guys, don't let it get you down too much. Okay, I'll see you on the next video.